we use different type of batteries in our everyday life. You have noticed that we use batteries in torches, in inverters, in mobiles, in watches. Where there we will see such type of batteries. Do you know about that? What are these batteries? These are electrochemical cells. So what do you mean by electrochemical cell? Welcome students. Let us discuss about the topic electrochemical cell and Nernst equation. This is all about electrochemistry. Chapter number 3 of class 12. So, what do you mean by electrochemical cell? As the name indicates, electrochemical cell. So basically it is made up of three words, three subwords, and these are electrochemical cell. Cell is any type of device, a unit. Electro means electricity. Chemicals mean some chemicals. So it is a device which is used to convert chemical energy of a redox spontaneous reaction into electrical energy. A device used to convert chemical energy into electrical energy. That is known as electrochemical cell. Now, electrochemical cell can be defined as a type of device which is utilized to prepare some electrical energy from some other type of chemical processes, and these chemical processes will happen due to some spontaneous redox reactions. So it is a spontaneous process. It has natural tendency to occur. Electrochemical cell can be called as galvanic cell due to the name of the scientist Luigi Galvani. Other name of electrochemical cell is voltaic cell due to the name of the scientist Alessandro Volta. It can be called as Daniell cell if it is metal specific. So what is the difference between Daniell cell and galvanic cell? Whereas Daniell cell is metal specific, it means in case of electrochemical cell, if we are using zinc as anode and copper as cathode, then this type of electrochemical cell will be known as Daniell cell. But if you are using any other type of metal as anode as cathode, it will be known as galvanic cell. It means galvanic cell is not metal specific. We can use any type of other metal. If we use only zinc and copper, then we'll call it is Daniell cell. But if we use other than zinc and copper, then we can call it galvanic or voltaic cell. So galvanic or voltaic cell is not metal specific. So this is the difference between galvanic and Daniell cell. So what is the working process or the construction of electrochemical cell? In electrochemical cell, this is a complete cell which is made up of two half cells. In one container or in one half cell, the process of oxidation will be carried out. Whereas in another half cell or in another container, the process of reduction will occur. So combinedly, oxidation and reduction both will combine each other to form the or to show the process of reduction and oxidation. How it happens? Let us observe. When we take a container which is made up of zinc salt, in which we are taking some zinc salt, we will not tell it made up of, but it will contain some zinc salt like zinc sulfate. Now zinc sulfate, in this zinc sulfate solution which is of having 1 molar concentration, we will dip 1 electrode. Electrode is any type of metallic rod which is used for the process of conduction of electricity. So here we will use zinc as our electrode in this zinc sulfate solution. This is our zinc electrode, it is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. Whereas we have copper electrode in second container, and this container is containing copper salt. It means it is containing copper sulfate. So in copper sulfate we have, this is the aqueous solution of copper sulfate, this is the aqueous solution of zinc sulfate. Both of these solutions are of having 1 molar concentration. Now in this container we are dipping copper electrode in copper sulfate solution. Now this zinc electrode will act as anode. It will show the process of oxidation, the process of losing electrons. Whereas copper electrode will act as cathode, will show the process of reduction, process of gaining electrons. So how it happens? When we have this zinc electrode, it will show the spontaneous process. It will show the release of electrons. Because zinc is solid, it will show the process of release of electrons, so the process of oxidation. It will form Zn2 positive ions and electrons are liberated out. Now Zn is releasing Zn2 positive ion in this solution, whereas electrons are going from this rod and these electrons are flowing through this wire, and these electrons are taken by the copper electrode. So electrons will show the direction in this manner. The flow of electrons will be in this direction, whereas the current will be shown by opposite direction. The direction of current will be opposite. So electrons will be taken in this direction. Zinc are releasing electrons, and these electrons which are released by zinc are gained by copper 2 positive. Because copper 2 positive ions are present in this copper sulfate solution, so this copper 2 positive ions will gain the electrons which are coming from zinc. So Cu2 positive which is present in aqueous will gain 2 electrons and will form the copper. So copper will get deposited at this electrode. Copper metal as solid will get deposited at this electrode. Whereas zinc which is releasing electrons will become thin. This electrode will become thin, because Zn is going to be converted into Zn2 positive ions and electrons are released from here. So zinc anode will become thin, whereas copper electrode, which is our copper cathode, will become thicker due to the deposition of the copper. So overall reaction will be what? That is Zn solid plus Cu2 positive aqueous will show the formation of Zn2 positive ions and copper. It was solid, zinc electrode get converted to Zn2 positive ions, whereas there are copper 2 positive ions. This copper 2 positive ions after gaining electron will form copper metal Cu as solid and will get deposited at this electrode. So this is about the redox reaction which are happening in this electrochemical cell or are occurring in this electrochemical cell. But if we are thinking that zinc is converted to Zn2 positive ions, it means that the process will stop after some time. No, because we have this U-shaped salt bridge. This U-shaped salt bridge is containing a paste of agar-agar. Agar-agar is a type of algae. Algae, we can say a type of plant. So we will fill the paste of agar-agar or gelatin in this salt base. Why it is known as salt base? Because the paste which we are taking in this U-shaped tube is containing some salt in it, and these are potassium chloride, potassium sulfate, potassium nitrate. All such type of salts will help to complete the innermost circuit. So the function of salt bridge is to complete the inner circuit, whereas the outer circuit is completed by the flow of electrons. Inner circuit will be completed by the flow of ions. So it will maintain electrical neutrality. Why? Because we know zinc is converted to Zn2 positive ions. After some time there will be we can say there will be maximum number of positive charge particles, and likewise here Cu2 positive ions will gain electrons and will get deposited as copper on this electrode, so there will be less positive charge. So to balance this charge, ions will be released from this salt base. So negative ions will go this side and positive ions go this side. So the function of salt bridge is to maintain electrical neutrality and to complete the inner circuit. It is very important question. It may be asked in your board exams. So now if we talk about how this process will be carried out under any type of potential. If we talk about the external potential, external electrical potential, if we have external electrical potential below 1.1 volt, then the electrons will flow from this direction, from zinc to copper, and the reaction will happen. And what type of reaction will happen? We will see there will be a liberation of Zn2 positive ions, zinc rod will become thin, and here deposition of copper will occur. But when electrical potential, external electrical potential is equal to 1.1 volt, there will be no flow of electrons. There will be no flow of electrons if external electrical potential is equal to 1.1 volt. So there will be no such type of chemical reaction occur. Neither the electrons will be released from here and nor the electrons will be gained from here. But what will be the condition when we take electrical external potential which is more than 1.1 volt in that electrochemical cell? Then electrons will flow in the reverse direction from copper to zinc, and opposite will happen. This electrode will become thin, whereas this electron will become thick. So it all depends upon how the process will be carried out. So if external electrical potential is more than 1.1 volt, then this electrochemical cell will act as electrolytic cell, because it is a non-spontaneous process. Above 1.1 volt, if electrical external potential is above 1.1 volt, then this cell will behave as electrolytic cell. And electrolytic cells are those type of device or units or cells which are used to convert electrical energy into chemical energy using a non-spontaneous process. So this is just opposite of the electrochemical cell. In electrochemical cell, chemical energy into electrical energy, whereas in case of electrolytic cell, conversion of electrical energy into chemical energy. In electrochemical cell, process is spontaneous, but in electrolytic cell, process is non-spontaneous. Process is as a result of non-spontaneous reactions. So this is all about the electrochemical cell, its working. Now construction, how we can represent the electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell can be represented by, if we are taking such type of reaction, if we are taking zinc and copper, so we have zinc and solid, and this zinc solid is converted into Zn2 positive ions as we have observed. So we'll show one straight line. This process is oxidation because zinc is releasing electrons. The release of electrons, where a process where release of electrons will occur, is known as oxidation. So this is oxidation half shell. Now we will draw two lines, double lines. These double lines will tell us about the salt breeze. These double lines are representing the salt breeze. It means two containers are connected each other by salt breeze. So in reduction half shell, what is going on? Copper to positive are gaining electrons and are converted into copper solid. Copper to positive ions from this solution aqueous are gaining electrons and are converted to copper as solid. So this is about the representation of electrochemical cell. Concentration, if you want to show the concentration, this can be shown by C1, this can be shown by C2. Concentration first, concentration second, and both of concentration we are taking as 1 molar. 1 molar concentration. So this is our oxidation half shell, this is our reduction half shell. So now how we can measure electrode potential? What will the criteria? So let us talk about that. So how we can measure electrode potential? Basically, electrode potential can be defined as the tendency of any electrode to lose or gain electrons. If this electrode is losing electrons, then this electrode potential will be known as oxidation potential. But when this electrode is gaining electrons, then this electrode potential will be known as reduction potential. Because we know oxidation is the process of release of electrons, whereas reduction is the process of gaining of electrons. So when we talk about measurement of electrode potential, we cannot measure electrode potential directly. For this purpose, we have to use some standard. There is difference between cell potential and EMF. Cell potential can be defined as the difference between electrode potential of two electrodes. Difference between electrode potential of cathode and anode when current is flowing through the circuit. But when we talk about EMF, electromotive force, it can be defined as type of difference which we can study when there is no current drawn in the circuit, drawn through the circuit. हमारे सर्किट में किसी भी तरह करंट नहीं चल रहा है, तब जो डिफरेंस हमें देखने को मिलता है दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के बीच में, तो वो ईएमएफ होता है. सो EMF can be represented by E. For aim of the cell, we will represent E cell. And under standard condition of temperature, pressure and volume, we will take E node cell. So how to measure this electrode potential? For this purpose, we will have to use something standard. In case of electrode potential for measurement, we only use reduction potential. For our convenience, अगर हमें अच्छा करना है तो उसके लिए हम एक चीज को लेके देखेंगे, that is reduction potential. So any type of potential will be studied under the headline reduction potential. Reduction potential will be called as electrode potential. So when we compare different type of electrodes, their electrode potential, they will be studied by using reduction potential. So if you want to make a table depending upon their strength of reduction potential, we can make a table, and this type of series is known as electrochemical series. This electrochemical series will help us to tell us about the oxidizing and reducing nature of different type of metals, different type of electrodes. Which metal has strong reduction potential, which has least reduction potential. In this series, you will study that lithium is having high oxidation potential. It can easily lose electrons. But when we are studying according to reduction potential, so it has least reduction potential. Because we are studying according to reduction potential, so we will have to show Li positive plus E node form Li. It means the value will become negative because the tendency of lithium is to lose electrons, and we are studying against it, against its character, that is reduction potential. So the value of reduction potential will be negative. The value of electrode potential will be negative because electrode potential is studied by reduction potential only. So the value of reduction potential or electrode potential in case of lithium will be negative because it is a strong reducing agent. When we study about the fluorine, we know fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. So it has maximum tendency to gain electrons. That's why it shows the process of reduction very easily. So it has highest value of reduction potential and least value of oxidation potential. But we are studying our electrode potential according to reduction potential. That's why the value of electrode potential for fluorine will comes out to be positive. But here we have an element that is hydrogen, which can behave as both. It can show the process of oxidation as well as reduction based upon the type of electrode which we are taking in another container. It can show the process of reduction as well as oxidation. So we will use hydrogen as standard electrode. Standard hydrogen electrode or normal hydrogen electrode. How it is constructed? For this purpose we will take platinum electrode. With this platinum electrode we have platinum foil which is coated with platinum black. So we are dipping in acidic solution, 1 molar HCl solution. So here in this case hydrogen gas will be given by outside. Then what will the process occur in this case? In standard hydrogen electrode we will have platinum. This is platinum as our solid electrode, and we are studying hydrogen gas, and that is under 1 bar pressure, and it is converting to H plus ions in aqueous form. So this will be carried out. Now we know when the process of oxidation will be shown by this standard hydrogen electrode, then H2 will release electrons and will get converted into 2H positive ions when the process of oxidation will be carried out. And when the process of reduction will be carried out, the H plus ion present in the solution will gain the electrons and will form hydrogen gas. So the hydrogen gas will be liberated out. The process of reduction will occur. So we can say hydrogen can behave as cathode as well as anode, depending upon the other type of electrode. If other type of electrode is having higher value of electrode potential or positive value of electrode potential or higher value of electrode potential and positive value of reduction potential, because we have based electrode potential based upon reduction potential. So if we have higher value of reduction potential or higher value of electrode potential, it means it will show the step that because other electrode is showing the process of reduction, that's why it will show the process of losing electron, it will show the process of oxidation, it will release electrons. But if other electrode is showing negative value of reduction potential, means negative value of electrode potential, it means it has higher tendency to, that electrode has higher tendency to lose electrons. So hydrogen will behave as cathode, it will gain electrons, it will show the process of reduction. So when we want to calculate E node cell is equal to E node right hand side minus E node left hand side. So E node cell is equal to E node cathode minus E node anode, because cathode will be taken as on right hand side and anode will be taken as on left hand side. So if we are using SHE and copper as our cathode, then what type of representation will be shown by electrochemical cell? For electrochemical cell, platinum solid H2 gas 1 bar, H plus and aqueous represented by single lines, and then double lines represent the salt breeze. Copper to positive ions, and these are showing conversion of copper. Obviously we know copper has positive higher value of electrode potential or reduction potential as compared to hydrogen. That's why it will act as cathode. It will show the process of reduction, whereas in this case hydrogen will show the process of oxidation, will act as anode. Now by comparing the values of electrode potential of hydrogen and copper and putting in this, we will have E node cell equal to 0.34 volt. But when we take standard hydrogen electrode and zinc as anode, we know zinc will show the process of oxidation because it has less value of electrode potential, less value of reduction potential as compared to hydrogen, because it is a we can say it will show the process of releasing electrons. So in this case representation will be same, that is H2 gas H plus and Zn2 positive will be shown as gaining electrons, but when we are showing zinc to positive ions gaining electron and converting to zinc, it means we are going in the reverse direction. We are going in the direction which is opposite to the character of zinc, because zinc want to release electrons. If we want to show it is gaining electrons, then the value of electrode potential or reduction potential in case of zinc, it will become negative. Reduction potential or electrode potential will be very less for zinc because it shows the process of oxidation very easily. That's why reduction potential value will be very negative in case of zinc, whereas hydrogen will act as a cathode and will show the process of reduction. The value of reduction potential or electrode potential for hydrogen is always taken as 0 because it is standard. In this case, we will have E node cell equal to minus 0.76. Here, 0.76 which is taken as negative, it indicates that the zinc is not able to gain electrons. It has the natural tendency to lose electrons. It can show the process of oxidation. But we are studying electrochemical series by calculation of reduction potential. So the value of reduction potential for zinc will be very less or will be negative because it don't want to gain electrons, it want to release electrons. So if you want to study according to gaining of electrons, then the value of reduction potential of electrode potential in case of zinc will be negative. But copper is taken as positive because copper has the natural tendency to take to gain electrons as compared to hydrogen. That's why the value of reduction potential of electrode potential will be positive for copper. Now comparing both this zinc and copper, and we are using both zinc and copper, now we can use and we can calculate because we have the value of E node cell for copper and E node cell for zinc. Now we will take that is copper as our cathode, which is present on the right hand side, minus anode which is present on the left hand side, and then anode is our zinc. So the value of copper is 0.34 from here and value of zinc is minus 0.76. So completing this equation, we will have E node cell equal to 1.10 volt. So in this manner we can calculate E node cell of any type of two different type of electrodes by using standard hydrogen electrode. So this is the use of standard hydrogen electrode. Now next equation based upon this electrochemical cell, that is Nernst equation. Nernst equation is representing the relationship of E cell with respect to the E node cell under condition of their temperature, Faraday's gas constant and concentration of the metals and their ions. So E cell is equal to E node cell minus RTNF natural log M by Mn plus, where M is the concentration of metal. This bracket M representing the concentration of metal and Mn positive, it is representing the ions. So if we are using zinc as our electrode, then we have E Zn2 positive ions converted into Zn, because we are showing the reduction potential. That's why we will show Zn2 positive oblique Zn equal to E node Zn2 positive oblique Zn minus RTNF natural log 1 by Zn2 positive. Why I am taking 1 here? Because M, which is a solid, the concentration of this solid, this metal, will be taken as 1. So whenever we will take any type of metal, for example here that is zinc, then the concentration of zinc is also 1, and when we are taking copper, the concentration of copper will be also taken as 1. So by using E cell, we have EZn2 positive oblique Zn minus Cu2 positive oblique Cu. It will be what? That E cell, हम इसमें से इसको माइनस कर देंगे, then we will have E node cell minus RTNF natural log Zn2 positive by Cu2 positive. Natural log को log में कन्वर्ट करने के बाद what we will have? E cell is equal to E node cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log Zn2 positive Cu2 positive. अगर हम इसको और ज्यादा सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं, we will have value E node cell minus 0.059 divided by 2F, because N is the number of the electrons, log Zn2 positive Cu2 positive. N is representing the number of electrons lose or gain, and F is the Faraday, that is 96,500 coulombs. And whereas R is the gas constant, is the temperature under standard condition. We will take whatever will be given to us. Now, what is the relationship of Nernst equation with chemical equilibrium constant and Gibbs free energy? Let us talk about that. If you talk about the relationship between Nernst equation and chemical equilibrium constant, we know chemical equilibrium constant Kc comes when any reaction is in equilibrium. It means that the concentration of reactants will become equal to concentration of product. So from last Nernst equation, E cell is equal to E node cell minus 2.303 RTNF log Zn2 positive, concentration of Zn2 positive, and molar divided by molar concentration of Cu2 positive copper. So this was from Nernst equation. If we are taking zinc and copper as our electrodes, so at equilibrium E cell will become equal to 0. The concentration of reactant will become equal to concentration of product. So E cell is equal to 0. It means 0 is equal to E node cell minus 2.303 RT NF log molar concentration of Zn2 positive divided by Cu2 positive ions. After simplifying it, we will have E node cell equal to what? This term will go that side. So E node cell equal to 2.303 RT NF log Kc. Why? Because Kc will represent the concentration of molar concentration of product divided by molar concentration of reactant. So because we know Kc is the chemical equilibrium constant, and chemical equilibrium constant is equal to molar concentration of product divided by molar concentration of reactant. So we can write in place of Zn2 positive divided by Cu2 positive ions equal to Kc. So this is the all about the relationship of Nernst equation with respect to the chemical equilibrium constant. Now, if you are talking the relationship of Nernst equation and Gibbs free energy, we have studied in previous class that delta G, Gibbs free energy. that will be equal to minus NF E cell by any type of electrical work done. But under standard condition, G node, delta G node will be equal to minus NF E node cell. That is electrical work done under standard condition. So delta G node is equal to minus NF and E node cell was what? That was 2.303 RT NF log Kc. So by putting the values of E node cell equal to that, we will get NF cancel out. Then we will have delta G node is equal to minus 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. So this is the relationship of Nernst equation with Gibbs free energy. Numericals may be asked from this portion, Nernst equation. That is very important topic related with the numericals. When numericals will be asked, always remember Nernst equation is very important topic. So students, keep learning, stay healthy, and all the best for your future.